You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. Hello and welcome to Radio Nonsense, the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast for all ages from 2. I'm at the and everything in between. I'm Tiernan, and this week, I'm just going to look at things you've sent in. Yeah, that's right. No shenanigans or mischief from silly ghosts or goats or aliens or zips or yaks or places that sell potatoes disguised as lemons, stinky hippos or... yeah, farting animals. Unbelievable. How do they time it so that they can do that? It is a real skill. No, this week I'm going to start a new section of the show that has a brand new jingle and everything. Yes, it is time for... I'm going to read your emails, reviews and letters too. No snails, I said letters, not lettuce. Please don't eat, they aren't your food. No snail, I definitely said letters. Do they even look like a lettuce? They aren't even green. Please, snails, go away from the letters. You're the most annoying snails I've ever seen. Snails, snails, snails. That's right, I'm just going to remove these snails. Ugh. Isn't it weird when you see a snail's trail and then it just suddenly stops? Like, where's that snail gone? Do they fly away when we aren't looking? I'm just saying, it's very suspicious. They pretend to be all slow and then as soon as you turn away, they fly off at jet speed. I am sure of it. Excuse me a minute. Ugh. Well, look, I hope you like the jingle. And now, of course, it is mailbag time. This nice Apple Podcast review has been sent in from There Is Nothing Free in the United Kingdom, which is an interesting name. Is nothing free? What about snails? I mean, all you need are letters that they think are lettuce, and you get absolutely loads of them. Hang on, Radio Nonsense is free, unless you very kindly subscribe to the advert-free Linda edition, so that I can afford to buy more snail defence systems to stop them flying in. Anyway, their message, There Is Nothing Free, says... Great podcast. Thank you very much. Unless you mean it should be used to grate cheese with, in which case, also thank you. Maybe it should. Then they say, I have an idea for finding Linda, which is very exciting. So let's hear it. Look under sofa. Look in the Linda channel on the TV. Pop a balloon to see if it's in there. Look in the toilet. If you find her in the toilet, then flush it, because no one wants a stinky Linda. What? There's a Linda channel on the TV? Let me check that ASAP. Hang on. Sir? Yeah, there it is. Oh, what? There's nothing on it.
Linda, has anybody seen Linda? Where is she? Who is she?
Oh, well, that was weird. But still no Linda. Let me try the other very good suggestions. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. There is nothing free, but I'm afraid there is still no Linda, so very, very strange. But I will keep watching the Linda channel, and maybe she'll turn up at some point soon. The mystery continues. Now, next up. Go away, snails. I have a big apology to make. Apology! There you go, that's the big apology. And that's for all of you who messaged this show on Audible over the last few years. And I'm afraid I've only just discovered the place on that website where all your reviews go. I'm very sorry. So the other day I found all of these, and thank you so much for posting them. And so sorry it's taken me quite so long to find them. And I hope you're all still listening to the show. So this first one, this is from Krista, who sent this back in 2021. That was like billions of years ago. And she said... Amazing! This is so funny. My parents are always wondering why I'm laughing all the time. It's because all this funny stuff comes back in my head at the most random times. Ha 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 ha. Well, thanks, Krista. That's a lovely review. Thank you very much. And I'm so sorry. I've only just found it. I do hope you don't tell your grubby baloops. Sorry. grown-ups what it is you're actually laughing about. As that way, they'll just think you have really evil plans that you keep cackling about. And then they're going to have to get you everything you want in case you're just about to inject them into space. They won't have a clue. Joe V also last year sent in this review and said, great, amazing, just Stinky Hippo 10110. I listened once I got hooked. Bravo, amazing. Well, thank you, Joe. Though I'm really sorry to hear about the hook. And I do hope that after this, you've since escaped and swam away. It was a while ago, so maybe now a couple of years later, you're okay again and just swimming around in the sea. And then there was this from Charlotte, who says, I'm Charlotte from an Apple podcast review you read a while ago. Whoa, Charlotte, you were reviewing all over the place. That's amazing. She said, I still love the show. It helps me sleep. What? Why does this show help them see it away? And then she says, and you're the ones with accents. You say both, and we say bath like normal. What do you have to say now? Well, thanks, Charlotte. But firstly, sorry for not finding your other review until now. I also don't know what you're talking about. I don't say both. I say booth. And I don't think anyone calls it a bath, do they? It's very strange. It's definitely both. You have to say, I'm going to take a both, and then someone gives you a both, and you take it away, and then you don't have a both anymore. I'm sure that's how it works. Anyway, I'm sorry to hear this podcast is still making you fall asleep. I can't believe this makes people fall asleep. I'm going to have to try and add even more loud bits to keep you awake. Go away, snails! Hopefully that helped. And then a few months ago, LS said on Audible, hello, you're great at Stinky Hippo management. Well, thank you, LS. This stands for Long Susan. Stands for Larry Smarry. I'm not sure, but anyway, I took a special course actually to train in Stinky Hippo management. It's called Know Your Stinky Hippo, and it's run by Steve Hippo. I would highly recommend it actually. You just have to send in 4 easy to make payments of green peppers, followed by 1 very difficult to make payment where you have to leave a single red pepper on top of Mount Everest. But it's very worth it if, like me, you have too many stinky hippos to manage. So don't forget, listeners, if you would like to review the show, do ask your grubby grown-ups to help you leave one on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or even Audible, it seems, and I will be checking that more often now that I know how to do it. Or you can write to me on the Spotify Q&A, or even just send me an email with any questions that you need answering to podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. That is the best way. If you email me, I will definitely get it. And if your same grown-ups would like to sign you up to the Linda edition for just $2.99 a month on Apple, Acast Plus, or Patreon, then you'll get an advert-free podcast one day earlier than everyone else, and also on Patreon you'll definitely be able to message this show directly, which is quite handy, and with that money I can buy enough peppers to do part 2 of Steve Hippo's course, and I'll be able to manage stinky hippos even better. Please also check out comedyclubforkids.co.uk for our live shows, and comedyclubforkids.store for all our Stinky Hippo and Linda t-shirts. They are letters! Why are you so ridiculous, snails? Sorry, I mean more from you lot after this most important bit. My highly esteemed guest this week is Bilal Zafar, aka Bilal Zafar, owner of the world's most bizarre guitar, aka B. Lily Zafanaya, champion extreme nacho dipper, and as all our Estonian-speaking listeners know you, Exta ole si kuled tustist hernest mutsid kota. But of course, Bilal, you are most famous for creating the world's first physical gesture so people can ask, where is Dave, without speaking, for your invention of comfy slippers that look like human feet for animals to wear, and of course for your never-ending epic battles against the terrifying forces of weevils. Bilal, how are you doing? It's lovely to have you back on the show.
I'm very good, thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for bringing up the slippers, because we've just put them out into shops. So you can get them all over the place for animals. So the problem is that the animals don't have bank cards.
Right.
So it has to be a shop where they accept cash, because obviously a pigeon can carry a note.
Do you feel like you're leaving out a lot of that? Because I'd assume, Magpie is pretty good at bringing gems, coins, but obviously maybe badgers not so much. Do you feel like you've got issues in who's accessing these amazing slippers?
Well, they can do it different ways because, like you say, you can have gems, and then you can also pay with like tin foil and stuff. That like a squirrel might find that quite valuable.
Yes.
And then it can carry it in its little hands, and so there's a lot. There is a problem with fish, though. We're having a problem there.
Right.
We're trying to get them to order online, but that's tricky as well.
How do you find the issue? Because obviously slippers you tend to sell in pairs. I'd have thought fish probably just need one on the tail, or do they go? Am I being fishist here? Do they need one per little tail fin? I don't know how it works.
No, you're absolutely spot on. And then the great thing with selling to the fish market is that it's technically buy one get one free.
Wow!
So they can get one for their friend.
That's great.
And they can both have one slipper over their body, bottom half, obviously.
That's great. That's a really savvy plan. Do you have problems on the other end of the scale? You know, are spiders complaining how expensive it is? Are millipedes, centipedes complaining how many pairs they have to buy?
Yeah. To be honest, I'm kind of thinking I shouldn't have done this.
Right.
Because it's caused, when you get the insects, it's caused so many problems for us.
Yeah.
We're getting complaint emails every day from spiders specifically. And like you say, centipedes, millipedes, we haven't even looked into that yet. That's going to be a nightmare.
Right. That is difficult. But I suppose, and I hope I haven't got the origin story here wrong, but originally you had just gone, I think, cats and dogs. And, I remember seeing pictures of those little dogs walking around with big, hairy human feet. And it looked brilliant. It looked adorable. It looked hilarious, sometimes slightly creepy, but mostly very fun.
Exactly. But then if you're going to have cats and dogs, like you say, you've got to have badgers, And I saw a badger in real life for the first time recently.
Did you?
And it's, very exciting in Hastings in the UK.
Wow. And what was it? What was it doing?
It turned and looked at me and then ran away, and they've got a very funny little run.
Right.
And I thought it was a cat at first, and let me tell you, it's not a cat.
Right, because it's a badger.
Because it's a badger.
Yeah. Did it look like you'd spotted it? Did it look surprised to see you? Had it been up to something it was hoping maybe no one had seen it do?
It looked like it. Yeah, maybe it was going through a bin bag or something. But it did look suspicious. And then it ran away like it had been caught. And I thought, you know what, I respect badgers. And I thought we need to roll this product out. The human feet slippers to the badgers as well, to the badger community. That's gone well. And then foxes, of course. But the problem is because foxes do go through bin bags a lot. They're bringing in a lot of mess to a lot of the stores. And then we're getting in trouble for that. But that shouldn't be my responsibility.
No, I don't think it should be your responsibility. And I think also, you sell the product. You can't, people sell trainers, hats, all sorts of things that then maybe a nasty person will wear a hat. That's not the hat people's fault, is it? That's not the hat maker's fault.
Exactly.
Somebody who wears a hat might, I don't know, push over a duck or something. That's not the hat maker's fault. It's just that's the anyone can buy these things. So I don't think you should. I mean, I was going to say, is there this concern? Because I remember reading this news story, and I'm sorry to bring this up now, and I hope it's okay me asking this, but I remember reading this news story where police detectives, I think, had been tracking this person who they thought had been going through bins because they'd seen all these human footprints, and they'd been tracking these prints, and then of course it turned out it was just a fox using your slippers to commit bin crimes.
Yeah,
and it'd thrown everyone literally off the track because.
Well, this is the thing. I had to be the lawyer for that fox.
I remember. Yes,
it was a very, very big case, and I'm not trained in any of that. I just know how to sell human-looking slippers to animals, and so that was tough. There's a lot of paperwork. I had to keep saying I rest my case.
Right. No
further questions, but I hadn't asked a question yet. I had to say no further questions.
Was your case rested? Was it well rested? Did you?
The case was rested, and the fox got away with it.
Right.
Yeah. Excuse me.
So.
Get very emotional about the case.
I understand. I'm pleased that. Well, I mean, should I be pleased the fox got up? I mean, was the fox a decent fox, or should he have gone down?
No,
no,
he's been robbing houses.
That is awful. You've aided a criminal.
Yeah, they're doing a Netflix documentary about the whole thing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, 9-part
Are you going to be in it?
I'm in it playing myself,
right, that's
yeah.
Good.
And everyone else is actors, so it's weird that they've done that.
That is really weird, actually. So it's not the fox playing the fox. It's someone. They've got someone else.
Yeah, it's a dog.
It's a dog playing a fox, right? Yeah. I hate it when they do that. I really hate it.
I know it's not realistic.
No, there's also really good fox actors out there that could have done the part, and they've gone and got a dog and painted him orange, and said,
giving him a bushy tail.
And the dog will be like, oh well, I went all method and I checked some bins, and so I'm basically a fox now. Exactly. And it's like it's not the same.
You're not a fox. You're not a fox, mate. Just give it up.
It's not the same. Wow. I mean, it's great to hear you've been busy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I guess that's sort of taken up most of your time.
Excuse me.
You're excused. That is something that we allow on the show. You are excused.
Yeah. That's taken up most of my time. That one. But then I'm always inventing things. The thing is, I try to invent things for people, and then they end up. I just think, well, a pigeon can use this. A mallard duck and its family could also use this spatula. Right.
Yeah, because the slippers were specifically for animals because humans already have human feet, so don't need. But you were inventing a spatula for humans that's ended up being for ducks.
Was for humans. Yeah, that's for mallards specifically, actually. Yeah.
Does it particularly scoop up bread well? What does it do that's
very well? I think seeds, right? They're meant to have seeds, right? Yeah. Not bread. Is that right?
Heard that. I've heard that, but it's not as fun throwing seeds at a duck.
No, it's not. No, big bag of seeds.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't feel right to me.
No, but that's why they need a little spatula to scoop it up. But then it's got to be right for the beak.
Sure.
Right? And then humans can't use that one because that just snaps in their hands.
Right.
So then I've got a whole warehouse full of this stuff.
Wow.
It's a nightmare.
That is hard because also you've got to make the cost of making all of these for every single different creature and every single different mouth, beak. I don't know what it is that insects have. That thing, that weird, like butterflies have that weird long tongue thing. I don't know. It's weird,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what you call. I mean, what do you call it? Well, legs. A lot of them have legs.
Yeah, and some of them. Which ones is it? Some of them smell or eat through their leg, or maybe they smell through their legs. I'm sure I read about that. I can't. Yeah.
Right. So you're saying because I've got some fragrances on the go. For insects.
Yeah, right, okay.
But they smell from their hands.
Right.
So, I don't know if that complicates.
Which ones are their hands and which ones are their legs?
That's the problem.
Right, sure.
It's been hard enough making a little spray bottle that's that small. We had to do it in a lab under a microscope.
Yes. And are there worries because also, some people out there use spray to get rid of bugs. How do you let the bugs know your spray isn't bug spray, but is bug spray, but not bug spray?
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. We said try our new bug spray out, and they all ran away.
That's hard.
And I was like, but it's free. It's a free sample.
That's hard.
So there's been a big PR battle, definitely, to get them on board. But you got to get some celebrity bugs.
Yes.
To promote the stuff online. Yeah. Do TikToks where they dance around. Right,
yeah. It's hard. Are there many celebrity bugs out there? I'm trying to think of who I've heard of.
Justin Beetle.
Justin Beetle, of course, yeah. He was Justin Beetle. There's also Beyonce as well.
Beyonce, yes.
She's very big.
Yeah.
She's very big. Ant and Dec. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Which is weird because Ant is an ant and Dec is a man.
Yeah, it's weird that they hang out.
So that's... Yeah, because you can't see them both in the same shot. No. They've got to zoom right out.
It's really... Their TV shows are awful because it's very disorientating how it has to zoom in and out all the time every time they talk.
Yeah.
And
And it has to, when it's a close-up on ant, it's got to zoom right in. And that's also disorientating, isn't it? When you're watching TV. Sudden zoom. That far, and it keeps zooming.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't know a camera could even do that.
No.
And then Ant says one line.
Yeah, and then it zooms all the way back out. Well, it's often, there's been big problems, isn't there? Because their TV shows give people motion sickness. And so people can't watch without being sick everywhere.
Yeah, well, is it worth? I think it's worth it because it's good television.
They're very funny. They're very quick. You know,
if you're prepared to be sick.
Yeah, exactly. And then that bit where Ant will lift 10 times his own weight or whatever, and it's like, it's brilliant. It's
good, yeah. When he lifts up deck, it looks like he's floating a little bit.
Oh, it's great.
Just off the ground.
It is really good. It is worth it. You're right. It is. I found it quite strange they started doing all the Saturday night TV shows where in the challenges people got covered in ants. Yeah. And I was like, is that a punishment when one of the presenters...
And which one's Ant?
I couldn't work that out.
Is Ant in there?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in there.
Yeah.
If that's a joke or a prank, we can't tell.
No, it was very confusing. It was very, very weird. But, you know, hey, well, I'm glad there are successful insects out there. I think bugs often get a hard time in the world. You know, people do spray stuff at them that isn't nice. They do squish them. They do. The windscreens aren't really there for bugs. You know, they've had a hard time. So I'm pleased they're finally getting a bit of fame.
I mean, even getting put in a cup and put outside, it's not ideal.
No,
I wouldn't like it.
No, it really. Can you imagine? You've just turned up somewhere thinking, finally, I'm here. Suddenly, big cup, and then you get put back outside again. Back to square one. It's going to ruin a day.
Go back in, it happens again.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's awful. It is awful. Well, you know, I think you're doing a great thing. You're standing up for those that, I mean, they can stand up because they've got quite a lot of legs, but they do stand up for themselves, but not in that way.
Well, thank you. But I am a businessman and it is all for money.
Sure, of course. Right,
and they do. The insects do have a lot of cash.
Sure,
so.
right. Is that money spiders? I remember they've got quite a lot, haven't they? Yeah. They all do. They've all got loads. Right. Yeah. They've got gold. Wow. Gosh. Yeah. Well, that's something I had no idea, and that's I suppose they get the last laugh then, really. Oh, definitely. Real thing, you have to live in the garden, but they probably choose to. Yeah. They like it. Yeah. You know? Snails, they got their own house. Of course. Yeah. And loads of money in there. Just full of cash, is it? It's full of loads of cash in that shell, yeah. What happened to these slugs sort of... So obviously slugs have... Oh, they don't have anything. That's so sad. Oh, it's so sad. No, it's annoying when they turn up because, you know, they want the free samples, but they won't. They won't pay for it. You've not got a shell. Where are you keeping the money? I hate slugs. Just do something. Yeah, not to be rude about, you know... They're good guys, but they waste your time. I don't think they are good guys. They look like
oh,
snot.
Okay.
They look like moving snot.
That's fair.
Then, you know. I'm sorry if any slugs are listening to this. I am sorry. You're still welcome to listen to the show, but I just you know, just buy something. Just buy something. Well, listen, Bilal. You know, it's so nice to have you back on the show. It's so nice to hear about you know, the hard work you're doing, helping animals with all these necessary products. I have had a question that's been sent in, and I think, in fact, I'm 100. I'd say I'm 101, possibly 102% sure that you're the person that can answer this question. But before I ask it to you, are you okay with a little bit of admin? Sure. Yeah. Great. Okay. Good. It's quite small admin. The first bit of it really is that this is I think you're aware of this, but this is an audio podcast. So most of our listeners do tend to listen with their ears. They might also listen with their knees or their bums. We don't really mind. However they choose to tune in, that's up to them. But because it's audio, I just wondered if you had a favourite noise that you could either make for us or at least tell us about. Okay. Yeah, I'll make the noise now.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, that is a cat sitting in front of a house, and when you walk past, it makes that noise. And I think it means stay away
Right.
or food, maybe, or come in. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very it's almost because there's something almost like robotic about it. Like it almost makes me think of rewinding as well. Like when you rewind, and sometimes I wonder have they scanned you? Are they going back through the cat files to go? Who is this? Are they allowed here? Where's my food?
Yeah, is that my owner? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, it's a good sound.
It's a great sound. It's very good.
Yeah. You'll often get it from a cat that's just sitting outside its house on the doorstep. It's probably saying, "Let me in the house, please. Can you help with this? Can you help?"
But you don't.
No, it's not my house, so it's not allowed.
Yeah, that makes it. Is it? I was going to ask you, basing this on I mean, you do that sound very, very well. I have to say, it's fantastic, and I wondered if you have been studying a specific cat that you got this sound from.
There is a cat that lives in my house.
Right.
She's called Mini Coco.
Right.
That's because her mum is called Coco, and she looks the same.
Oh, that's clever. Yeah.
She has a perfect half and half face.
Wow.
Ginger and black and white. Yeah, even her nose is half and half.
That's amazing.
Which is shocking.
So she could pretend to be two different cats by looking different ways. Could she do a staged conversation with herself as two different cats
easily
using each side of her face?
Easily, but she won't do it.
No.
You know, she won't push herself to her limits in theatre.
That's very sad.
Because I'm thinking, I see her some mornings with different cat. That's not my cat, and then she turns around, licks her arm, and I go, oh, "That's Mini Coco." She just has a half and half face. You know. Yeah.
But she won't do it. I mean,
she won't do.
She could be the two leads in a film, but just the one cat.
Yeah. That's what I'd like.
Yeah.
You know. But no, she just has some toy. She has a green spring that she wants to play with, and then naps. And that's the life she's chosen. And I don't understand.
No, you can't force them to do things they don't want to do. It's so you I mean you got the noise from her, because what I'm wondering is you got this noise from your cat in your house, where the noise is, "Can you help me?" and you're still going, "No, no," even though it is your house and it is your cat.
No, her meow isn't actually that deep. She's much more high pitched. She's only little, but there are cats I've walked past, and I wave to them, and then you get a wow, and I say, "Oh, okay, you carry on."
Yeah, it does really, the way you do, which is fantastic. It does really remind me of that, you know, that like that record scratch. You're probably wondering what I'm doing here, sort of meme. Yeah, like meow. Hi, this is me, and I'm wondering if maybe cats are constantly. Maybe they're just constantly going, meow. Yeah, I'm a cat. You're wondering why I'm sitting here in the sun. Well, it's been a long story. You know, maybe they're constantly giving us monologues about their...
They're very strange cats. That's why I think they're so funny, because they're so unpredictable, and you don't know what they're thinking.
Yes.
If they're thinking about anything.
Yeah, very weird. And I often I assume they're just plotting the downfall of the human species. That's my...
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll have to, cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if they all charged at us at once, you just give them a little stroke, and then they get all comfy and purr, and then you
you'd say thank you.
And it's over, so it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great noise. Thank you so much. Fantastic noise. We haven't had that on the show before, so it's really good. Really good to hear that very specific cat sound. The other bit of admin that I do have to ask you, of course, is that this is a family show. It's suitable for people of all ages, any age you can imagine. I don't know if you are able to imagine an age.
7.
Yeah, really good.
Is that
that's
one?
great. No, that's perfect for 7. Perfect for all
right.
possible ages except 100. Long story, won't go into it, but every other age.
Right.
And so I wondered if there are any rude words that you won't be saying, just to keep this show family friendly.
You know what? I've actually got one, and I've even got a definition for it.
Goodness.
Because it is a real word.
Right.
The word that I won't be saying is fartlek.
Fartlek. Right.
Fartlek. Fartlek. Fartlek.
Right.
Yeah, it's really
awful
bad.
word.
You shouldn't
Right.
say it. No, I would never say that. I'll tell you what it means. I got a definition. Fartlek training is a kind of running training which involves random variations in speed and intensity, alternating between bursts of sprinting and slower recovery jogging. Fartlek.
Wow. Is that? It says different, so alternating speeds, but that's of the running, not
Yeah.
of the farting that you're doing.
It doesn't say. It's not clear. And that's in the dictionary.
Yeah.
So, could be both.
Because if you call it fartlek, and there must be farts involved in this. Are you doing more farts to speed up and then fewer farts to slow down? Is there like, there must be, it must have something to do with it.
I guess so. I guess as you go slower, you got to do them more slowly.
Yeah. I mean,
And then let out quicker ones.
yeah, it's got to be quite good training. Sometimes you've really got to push to release a fart. It's got to be quite good for the muscles and the stamina to have control over your farts like that.
It's got to be good, but you don't want to. I mean, the problem is you can't do that in the gym.
No.
Really.
Not in a room with no windows.
No.
No.
No, and really loud music. You've got to do it where there's no one else around, I
Yeah.
guess.
At least the loud music would cover up the sounds.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. But then what if the music goes off? That's not ideal, is it?
That's a really awkward moment if you're in the middle of some intense fartlek. Yeah,
Fartlek.
that would be. Is there a burplek?
Burplek, absolutely. Sneezelek.
Of course, yeah.
Coughlek.
Affleck, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah. Ben Affleck is there.
Yeah.
He does it.
He does it. Right.
He promotes
Right, yeah,
it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fascinating. So obviously, fartlek is the worst, and we wouldn't be saying such a thing on this show. But it is a fascinating. It's interesting that people build these into their sports and their training. You know.
They all do it. David Beckham, who's a modern sport man. Who does everyone like?
I don't.
Cristiano Ronaldo does it.
One. Yeah, he does.
Messi.
Sports, yeah. Well, he does. Cristiano Ronaldo does Messi fartlek, or Messi does.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, both.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Messi does it, but his fartlek training is far from Messi,
Right, sure.
which is ironic. Whereas Cristiano Ronaldo's, yes, that's Messi, and that's why a lot of people consider him the greatest of all time.
Of course. Yeah. It's.
You have to pick one.
Yeah. I assume Messi fartlek is quite disgusting.
Yeah.
I just assume that's because it's not all fart. It's sort of follow through leg.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but still, people think.
Yeah.
People think he's the best
Again,
ever.
if it's
So you have to
yeah.
respect fartlek.
yeah, gotta respect fartlek. Don't say fartlek though.
No, don't say it. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, thank you for not saying fartlek. I most certainly wouldn't say fartlek.
You're welcome.
On this show, and
No, you wouldn't say fartlek.
no, not even once. It's an awful word. It's a great sport. Awful word. Wow. Well, listen. Thank you, Bilal, and you know, again, thank you for your time being here. I've got this question, and this is a question. This is a big question, and I'm not afraid to say this, you know, in public. But there have been previous guests on the show that have seen this question and said, "No, absolutely not," and they have shied away. You are a brave man, and I believe that you can handle this.
Right.
It is from someone called Cop Nop.
Cop Nop.
I think that's
Cop Nop.
yeah. All one word or two words? I'm not sure. Cop Nop
Full name? Cop Nop?
might be
Okay.
might be just
Yeah.
one, or it could be first name Cop, surname Nop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr. Nop.
Mr. Nop
Or Mrs.
or Mrs. Nop. Very good point. Yeah,
Miss.
Nop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ms. Nop. Yeah, I don't know. It's very hard to say. Or they could be a cop, or maybe they're not a cop because you think cop, Nop.
Cop Nop.
Maybe-
Oh, so Officer Nop, but no.
They're not a cop.
Cop,
Yeah.
nop.
Not a
Not a cop.
I don't.
Hopefully not a, baddie.
Oh yeah, not. There's a lot. It's very. I mean, we could just be looking into. It could just be a name. It could just be a cop, nop. It's very hard. It's very hard to know. They're either from the US or they're from us. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Could be us.
Maybe you're cop and I'm not. I don't. It's very messy.
Yeah.
Right. Well, listen. Whoever they are, Cop Nop has sent this in, and are you ready for this, Bilal? I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This and I'm gonna read it to you, but then I might have to give you some of the spelling as well. But this question is simply, Waet is a party, a farty, and that first word there, what, is spelled Waet. What is a party?
Right.
So I assume it said like that. What is a party, a farty? What do you think?
What? So it's Waet is a party, a farty.
Waet is a party, a farty.
So Waet means what and when,
Right.
or right?
I mean, I've
That's-
never seen it. You're thinking it's a combination of two words. What and when?
Yeah, it's a quicker way of saying
Right.
it.
So what and when? This makes it
Yeah.
easy. See, I knew you were the person to bring this in. You've already decoded it. You already understand it. What and so let me say it again. That what and when is a party,
Yeah.
a farty.
Okay, it's after dinner. It's a good social occasion. Lots of friends coming together. We actually had a party, a farty with excuse me. After I did the first release of the shoes for the animals that look like human feet, we had that with many animals.
Right.
All the animals of the animal kingdom came. We booked a hall, and it was that was a party. There was cake. There was all sorts of snacks, biscuits,
Right.
Crisps, chips.
Wow.
And it was a farty.
Right. And what makes it a fart? What makes it a fart? What makes it a farty when it's?
Well, I think we know.
So it is that point.
I think
it
we
is that
know.
point when the snack consumption.
Yeah. After
Yeah.
dinner as well,
Yeah.
and everyone, as you know, well, with a party, a farty, you would have had Brussels sprouts.
Right.
That's just tradition.
Yeah.
Even the animals that don't eat that. We had a lion eating Brussels sprouts because of the etiquette.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
that's good
Yeah.
manners. And it was a farty, let me
Yeah.
tell you.
Lion farts. I assume are awful.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I mean, it gets to one point. If you ever visit a farm, and there's a smell, but you get used to it.
Yeah.
At a farty, you don't
Right,
get used to it.
it never becomes okay. It's just always horrible.
It's
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, it's bad. But you open the windows, open the doors, but then the problem is you get complaints
Of course.
from the neighbours.
Yes, that's true. Does anyone? I mean, I'm not saying this word because I don't want to get in trouble, but I will say it in a factual manner. Does anyone take part in fartlek at a farty?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. The ones that want to keep their fitness
Sure.
up, cheaters.
fartlek.
Yeah, they got to keep their fitness
Yeah.
levels up. Much like a footballer or any sports person would. So they're doing it. They're running around the hall. There's a bouncy castle in the middle.
Wow.
That's already gone down because of all the animals with the claws.
Of course.
So that's just deflated in the middle there.
Wow. But
Yeah.
you'd think with all the farting,
It's
they
not
could
good.
sort
I
of
wouldn't
bring it
do
back
a-
up. They could pump. Yeah.
It comes back up.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It comes back up. That's what makes it. That's Waet makes it a party, a farty.
Right.
Is the farts do bring the, because it will get deflated.
Right.
You know, but then you do lose because you're renting it, obviously. So you do.
You lose the rent money,
That's bad because you can't give it back.
Yeah, that is bad.
And also, it's full of farts. They don't want that.
No, that's essentially a trap. If you were to send back a bouncy castle full of farts, you're sending like a sort of a trap to someone. Whoever then does deflate it gets all that in their face. That's really mean.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't mean it to be mean. You're just having a party of farty.
Yeah.
Right, with all the animals of the animal kingdom. It wasn't our intention to do that. We actually enjoyed the bouncy castle.
Sure, of course.
So it's unfortunate. It's a misunderstanding, and very difficult to explain.
I bet it is. But it's. I feel like just even in your voice, we know your intention was sound. I mean, I sort of feel like I should check. It's a good when a party is a farty. It's good. It's a good thing, right? It's not like you're saying, "Whoa, that party was a real farty." It's not like it was a bad.
No,
it's like it's a good thing if you've got a farty.
It's really good. Yeah. I mean, you can get that confused because people would say that party's a fart, and that means that's not a great party. But if you're saying Waet party is a farty,
it's big
that
time.
Means that's a brilliant party. I mean, it's awful, but fun.
Sure, but it's awful amounts of fun. Yeah,
it's nice to leave.
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah. I mean,
it's nice when you're setting it all up and then when you leave.
Yeah. I bet it's one of those few parties that, as you're leaving, you're thinking, "Thank goodness I'm not there anymore. I'm going home." Yeah.
Put a nice scented candle on at home.
Yeah, that's it, and throw all your clothes in the bin, I guess, and because they
absolutely
farts. Yeah.
Make sure you don't buy a farty candle.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That's annoying.
Yeah. You've had that before.
After all that.
You put on a fragrant candle and it happens to be fart smelling candle.
Worst day of my life.
You've been through some tough times, Bilal, I have to say, but I think what doesn't kill you, makes you stronger, they say, or at least makes you smell of farts.
Yeah. Clothes.
Which in a way, does that make you stronger? Stronger smelling?
I guess so.
Stronger smells? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that counts. The word stronger is in there.
That's it.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it's funny because I have to say, I knew that you could answer this question. I knew you were the man to answer it. I didn't realise you could answer it because you yourself had experience of a farty.
Yeah, it's not something I like to think about or talk about really, but I guess for the sake of, I've done many things in my life, many things, and there's been a lot of farty involved. What can I say?
Yeah.
It's part of being a businessman.
Your honesty is to be admired, and thank you for coming on the show and being honest about your party of farty. I appreciate that, and maybe I don't know, maybe you've warned others. I can't work out if you've sort of promoted it. Maybe this is something you should set up a kind of events company for farty. Maybe this is your next business plan.
Maybe. I suppose I could set up TikTok dances for it.
Right.
That works.
Right. Is that sort of farty dance specifically to happen at a farty? Right.
Yeah. We can make that work.
Yeah. Sort of farty.
We'd have to come up with a dance, and then you have to come up with a dance that all the animals can do as well, and that's difficult because of the different amounts of legs and tails.
That is very hard, and you've got to incorporate the farty vibe.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm doing for the next year.
Yeah. Wow. Well, but it's amazing. You set that up so quickly. Already, that's how business plans just come to you, just so quickly. Suddenly, that's your project.
That's how it works, and we're going to have to hand you a legal thing that says you're not allowed to tell anyone you were part of that idea, or we'll sue you.
And am I allowed to mention the idea at all to anyone? Is it top secret?
No.
And everyone that listens to this, are they going to have to sign this agreement as well, so they don't tell anyone?
Yes, they're all. We're going to send it out to all of them. They're going to have to sign it and return it. It's going to be a postcard. Please send it back with a first-class stamp.
Wow.
Yeah. Otherwise, we will have to. You're all going to be in trouble. If that's. I'm sorry.
You got to do it. You got to do it. You're a businessman,
business.
and I just hope everyone listening knows that if they are listening to this, they can't say anything about it. Can't tell anyone. In fact, they should really just have stopped listening. Probably ages ago. Probably at the beginning.
Well, they're not allowed to say fartlek anyway.
That's true.
No one can say that.
That is true, and I hope that'll be in the agreement as well.
That's that covered.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, this is Bilal. I would say thank you, but I'm not even sure I'm allowed to. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say anything.
No, you can't.
Other than that this happened, or maybe it didn't happen. If anyone asks, I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah,
we can work with that. Yeah,
great.
Well, thank you for having me. I can say that.
Well, thank you for being on. Am I allowed to say that?
Okay, you can say it once.
Oh, I did it. I've done it. Great.
So that's
good luck with it. All of it.
Thank you.
Climber is a snail.
Thanks so much to Bilal Zafar for taking time out of his busy schedule, making human-shaped slippers for animals to wear, and then representing them in court, so that he can now instead have a moment's break and answer Copnop's very, very important question. And Copnop, I do hope you liked your answer, but if not, please make any complaints you have at the next party or farty you attend, as there is absolutely no way I am going to go to one of those, and then I'll never have to read it. If you have a question that you need to have answered, do ask your grubby baloops, grown-ups, to help you email me at podcast@comedyclubforkids.co.uk. And if those same grown-ups want to help this show out, they can subscribe you to the advert-free Linda edition for just $2.99 of your Earth money on Apple, Acast Plus or Patreon. Please also check out comedyclubforkids.co.uk for our live shows and comedyclubforkids.store for all of our radio nonsense merch. I love that word, merch. It's great, isn't it? Like Balf. Okay, one last letter to read from the mailbag this week. Oh my goshness, why would you even still be here, snails? How many times do I have to tell you it's letters, not, as you probably think, lettuce?
Actually, I like eating letters. Sorry, I always wondered why everyone said, you'll eat your words, snail. But then I tried it, and it was so tasty. I'm now eating everyone else's too.
Well, that's not nice, okay? And I'm not having it, so bye, snail. So sorry, everyone. Okay, so this has been sent in by GGC, which I think stands for Green Cow, or possibly Greg Keg, or maybe Gluggu Cashew. And they are in Australia, and they say pointy emoji are thumbs up emoji. So I think that's you are thumbs up. I'm a thumbs up? Does that mean I have to live on someone's hand? What happens when they put their gloves on or cut their nails? Yeah, worrying. And then they say, I love listening to it even though I only hear 5 minutes of it before going to sleep. Also, my brother said polar bear monkey diamond ring. Well, firstly, GGC, your brother seems very intelligent, and I do hope that you are very proud to have a brother that is a scientist and says such intelligent things. Secondly, what do you mean you go to sleep? Wait, hang on, you only hear 5 minutes of this, but now I'm reading your letter at the end of the show, which means you'll never hear it? Well, that's a shame. But maybe I just need to make this show, I don't know, just louder. I'm not even really sure how to do that. Where would I begin?
I'm back, and I've brought even more friends. And now we will eat all of your letters and books and words.
All my words? What, you can't do that? But
Nom, nom, nom.
you have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents. Radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense. It's the end.